It's time for Did You Watch It?
How does this show work? We watch what we like, we talk about what we watched, and maybe you'll like what you hear. I'm Liz.
I'm Isabel.
And I'm Neil. Last night we watched episode 9 of The Amazing Race, season 25. The show aired on Friday, November 28th, 2014. Here's what we thought about it. So the 5 remaining teams start this week in Malta, where we left off. And their first task is to travel to the Pulau Ubin coconut stand in Singapore.
And I must say, we got to see Kim and Allie's hair in this leg for pretty much the first time.
It looked fabulous, didn't it?
Did you notice it?
All done up.
It looked gorgeous.
Their hair? Is that what you said? Their hair?
Yeah,
Yes.
They usually have it, in a hat or ponytail or bandana or whatever, but they kind of had their hair done. It was really pretty.
Okay.
I noticed that too, Liz. I thought it looked
Izzy.
fabulous. I was like, wow, they have such
Right.
pretty hair.
So once they get to the coconut stand, they have to drink a coconut
Of course.
before they get their next clue.
Yeah.
And we also find out that there is a double U-turn on this leg.
Dun dun dun.
So today's lesson, the surfers and the tooth fairies learned that the best way to book a flight is to say, we need the earliest arriving flight to, and then fill in the destination.
Right?
Because when the surfers booked the flight, they said, we need the fastest flight to Singapore from Paris.
Tiny little mistake.
Yeah.
They probably figured that there's not that many flights leaving from Malta, and plus they were told, you already have a flight to Paris set up for you.
Yeah. I mean, I felt bad for them, but
Yeah, see, they need to watch earlier seasons because the flight that they're provided is not always, I've rarely seen it be the best flight available.
so you've seen this happen before.
Oh, many, many times.
Wow, okay.
Many times.
No, it's happened. Yes. I agree
Yes.
with Neil.
Jim was not happy with Adam and Bethany at all.
Jim was not happy, absolutely.
I was
and
laughing, though, because he was saying, I thought you were supposed to have checked everything out. And I thought, well, why didn't you check it out if you were so with it? So organized.
You could always check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
Trusting soul as he is, and we find that trust plays a big, big part in this leg of the race.
Oh, most definitely.
Many times trust is violated, and we will expand on those later.
Absolutely.
One thing that has remained consistent in past seasons, when you have a situation like we have with this race, where the field is actively targeting an individual team
Yeah.
for elimination, it rarely works as they expect it to.
Yeah, and it didn't, let me tell you.
And it absolutely didn't. Like, for example, last season, when the Accidental Alliance targeted Brendan and Rachel for about 2 or 3 legs, and Brendan and Rachel still managed to make it to the final 3, much to everyone's chagrin.
Yeah.
Especially those that got eliminated in the process.
Chagrin and dismay.
Chagrin, dismay, shock, and awe.
Yes.
But here's the thing. It just goes back to the same thing of who do you trust? It's a race,
Yeah.
ultimately.
And the correct answer is nobody.
Nobody.
And especially at this far in the race entirely, we're on leg 9. So, it's pretty much every man or team for themselves. So I'm
Pretty much.
shocked that they're still talking about trust. I thought, ooh, that's not going to last for too much longer.
Not
Yeah.
going to last for too long.
It's a
Not gonna last
race.
too long.
Hello.
Exactly. Hello.
So the cyclists, the candy girls, and the wrestlers were on the first flight, and then the surfers and the tooth fairies arrived on the second flight, which landed 40 minutes later. The new rule about not changing once you've booked a flight, I don't know how long that's been in effect.
I know.
but
I didn't even know about it until, Jim mentioned it.
Yeah.
I think it might be new for this season because I don't recall hearing that before.
And I don't think they've said it before.
No.
As I recall, you've always been able to improve on your flights if the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah.
But
You can never pay for first class or business class.
correct. Yeah, you always had to go
Economy.
coach or economy.
Unless they
I think-
upgraded you for free.
Yeah. So once they got to the coconut stand, they got their clue, and included in the clue was the fast forward. And in this fast forward, they had to ride the flow rider, which is one of those little simulated, surf wave generation. I don't even know what the term is, but
very cool thing, but very hard.
It's pretend surfing.
Yeah, you would figure that this is right in the surfer's wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
This would be a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
But then we find out the surfers didn't even look at the fast forward until after they're on the boat, halfway to the other side. They had to take a boat to get to the coconut stand, and then they had to ride the boat back to the mainland. And it's like they were like into the, let's check out the fast forward. We didn't even look at it.
Wait, is that your Adam imitation?
This is my Adam.
Nice.
So, let's check it out. Oh, I even forgot it was in here, man.
Cowabunga.
Bethany was like, that's something that we could totally do. That's totally our thing.
Oh, man. This looks so cool.
Don't make fun of my people.
What? Hey, I kid.
Because they're awesome.
Okay, there you go. But it was funny. The cyclists basically said, no, we're not going to do this. And then they realized that nobody else in their group was going to do it. And they had enough of a lead. They said, let's go for it.
That's true.
So they did. You also realized that it kind of like throws a huge monkey wrench into the plans of that, the field.
For everyone to U-turn them, yeah.
Yeah, because then they wouldn't be able to get U-turned. So.
Yeah. Well, and they didn't know that people were going to U-turn them. So I thought this was brilliant, kind of just putting it in everybody's faces.
Actually, the cyclists did think, at some point they were making their way into the wave house. They're like, we're probably on their list to be U-turned.
Oh, yeah.
They did mention it.
I don't think that they were totally clueless as to the targets that were on their backs. The cyclists made it to the bar that had the flow rider, and Allie impressed me a great deal.
They both did.
With this tab.
Definitely.
Kim was always the first one to get kind of shaky and unstable, but Allie was just riding it. Allie's a baller from long time.
I know, but Kim's a baller too. She did pretty well at just grasping it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right, but it was almost always Kim that, had to bail out first, and then Allie was like shouting out the expletives. Damn!
And the hardest thing was when they lost their balance, you're just like water is just engulfing your face and you're smashed down and sucked back up the hill. I thought, wow, not only do you biff it, but you biff it and have all that stuff happen to you. So you're frustrated.
And poor Allie, like she had mascara like running down her face.
Yeah, she definitely had the raccoon thing going.
Yeah, it's like waterproof mascara, Allie. Waterproof mascara.
Woo!
Didn't Allie say that she had a bad feeling about it because it was taking them a while to get to the fast forward? Didn't she say something like,
yes.
I don't know, I'm starting to have a bad feeling about this, but Kim's like, no, power through.
Yeah, don't put it out there.
Right, the foreshadower of doom.
Yes.
Boom, dun, dun, dun.
So then they were on their second attempt, and they were about a minute in, and the surfers walked in, and the cyclists saw them, and it was like, oh crap, and then they totally biffed it.
Yeah.
And eventually the surfers did win the fast forward, and they got the right to go straight to the pit stop.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
They only took 2 tries, and they were done.
Yeah. So the roadblock for this leg of the race was at the Marina Bay Sands Hotel. And for this roadblock, the word of the day is funambulist.
Yes.
Or tightrope walker.
Did you know what that meant?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I'm like,
nah.
Am I the only dummy in the room? I had no idea.
I took the SAT 33 years ago, all right? The whole 10-pound words, I don't have to deal with that anymore. So, yeah, I was waiting for Phil on this one.
Well, hey, we all learned a new word.
We did, okay? So now I'm recharged for like the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
but if you asked me how to say it right now, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, funambulist. Funambulist. So one member of the team had to walk a tightrope between 2 towers, 57 stories over the ground.
Oh, Lord.
They had to get a clue and then walk back.
This made me barf just looking at it. I'm serious.
But you were at home.
Okay, but I'm an empathist. You know this about me. I completely was feeling their pain.
Hey, when $1 million is on the line, would you do it?
Hey, you know what? You'll do it. You'll definitely do it.
They haven't had any eating challenges yet, have they? Where they have to eat something...
Eat something nasty? No.
Not yet, and I'm shocked.
Yeah, they disappointed me last season, so I'm not even asking for it this season because I'm just not in the mood to be disappointed. If it happens, that'll be great.
If it happens, it's a bonus. If not, you'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've moved past it.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you right now, I am officially done with the wrestlers.
Ugh, you are not alone, my friend.
I am done, okay? When Brooke said that she secretly wanted Maya to fall
That
while she was walking
evil.
across, the only thing that popped into my head was, bitch.
I'm
Exactly.
serious. And earlier, she was jumping up and down when they were talking about U-turning the cyclist. I mean, she was literally jumping up and down. Who does that over the demise of someone else? I don't care if it's a race. I don't care if they're the opposing team. Who does that?
Yeah.
It's just poor sportsmanship, and I hate that.
I get competition. I
Yeah.
get wanting to win. I get the fact that there's $1
Sure.
million on the line. Okay? Don't be wishing nobody falling.
Exactly.
You don't have to go there.
No, certainly not.
I am done with them.
It's just too mean.
I also didn't appreciate how she kept saying, well, Maya's just always smiling. She just won't shut up. And she's always so bubbly. And
You know what? Brooke is just bitter, and she can't stand
is.
it that someone else has a better attitude.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You're
my
right.
Because
assessment.
she got the bitter face.
It is. It's a bitter person. It's not just the face.
Sour
it's the whole
grapes.
thing.
Yeah. So the Candy Girls finished the roadblock first with Maya making her transit.
Man, I was sweating the whole time.
Oh, but she was smiling.
She
She
was.
was having fun.
She was smiling, and I was sweating.
That's right. And then Brooke stepped out to do her little thing, and she damn near wet herself when she saw how high it was.
Yeah.
Which motivated me to draft a note to Brooke.
Okay, let's hear it. Wait, is this one numbered?
No, not numbered.
Okay, good.
I only needed one for this one.
Okay.
To Brooke, you may kick girls in the face for a living, and Maya may study candy for a living, but on this day, Maya kicked your candy ass.
Exactly. She did.
She did.
Oh, my friend, I don't know what candy ass you pulled that out of, but that was awesome.
When the Tooth Fairies got to the roadblock, Jim decided to make the trip, and the rope snapped.
I'm sorry. This scared me to death.
He lost his balance. Like, he leaned too far forward and his feet just like... psh.
No. The rope snapped.
Oh, it did? Oh, shoot. I wasn't...
Yes. Oh, yeah. The rope snapped.
Damn.
No, it went that whole...
Oh, gosh. I was
It was
freaking
bad.
out at this point.
He had to make his way back to where he started. You know, had to send over a new rope.
Right.
And he had to go back and do it all over again. So, you know, they ended up coming in third.
Props to Jim for just going on. I would have been like, nope, time.
If it were-
I'm not doing it again.
I can tell you right now, if it was me, everybody down there on the ground, they would need umbrellas. Because it would just it's like, oh, we have an early rain. It's like, man, it's
Yes.
like, I'm sorry, call it a sun shower, you know? After they finished the roadblock, they had to make their way to Center Square Raffles Place, and they had to get their next clue from a guy carrying a sign that said, was it Raffles Singapore or something? It was like,
I didn't even get a good look.
It said onward Singapore.
Onward Singapore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you. So the Candy Girls got there. They saw the guy. They got their clue. The wrestlers got there and they're asking the Candy Girls, where is it? It's in the square. Walked right past the dude, you know.
They didn't just
whatever.
walk right past him. They circled around him like 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, had to say, we're not stupid. Where is it?
Yeah, y'all are stupid.
Right?
And it's like the Candy Girls just sent us that way. They gave us such attitude. I'm like, no. They just said go to the square.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hello, It's a race. How could they think that somebody's going to give them that much help? They're trying to get it done faster than everybody else. It's just when they say they're not stupid,
The jury's still out on that one.
If the roles were reversed, if the wrestlers had gotten there before the Candy Girls, do you think they would have tried to help the Candy Girls?
Oh, you know what? Note to Robbie, the Candy Girl should not have told you that it was the guy, okay?
No.
Especially given the fact that Brooke was talking all that shit when Maya was on the tightrope.
Exactly.
I'm still not happy about that whole thing. So, y'all can go kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. Shit. So once they got the clue from the sandwich board carrying dude, they had the detour. And the detour was China cups or chili crabs. In China cups.
oh Lord. Seriously, no.
This was a mess.
I'm
Yes.
out. That
Right.
was awful. Oh.
Yeah. I'm going with you on this one, Liz, because I was cringing myself too.
No, the minute they said cupping,
Yeah, cupping by itself would be bad enough, okay? But in China cups, teams had to receive a deep tissue massage, a skin exfoliation,
That was like Silkwood level exfoliation.
right?
it was like,
Right?
Like nuclear fallout. Like get your skin off completely.
Let's just get to the dermis.
Yes.
yeah. Let's just call it a peel, because that's what it was.
Yeah. You know, and the cupping therapy. We can't forget the cupping therapy.
Oh my gosh.
Man, Amy, I felt bad for her.
She was crying.
Like she
Oh
had
my
the look
God.
of anguish on her face. I felt so bad for her. And meanwhile, all the people doing the tissue massage, like, oh, their pain tolerance is so
When
low.
Brooke was laughing at her, forget about it.
It's like, wow, you're going to sit up there and talk bad about them while they're right there.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
That
And
was just
Amy's
wrong.
skin, you know, she's got that lily white skin, right? So the brush
Right.
was just like, oh.
She was so red.
Yeah, I wanted
That was
to
bad.
poke Brooke in the eyes when she was laughing. I thought, oh, sister, your turn is coming.
Yep.
Just you
Oh,
wait.
Exactly.
yeah, see? Yeah, she didn't weather that skin exfoliation very well.
No, it was taking off her tan.
Yeah, whatever.
She's so tough.
So the Candy Girls got out of the detour first. The wrestlers came out second, and then the Tooth Fairies came out third. They did crabs. In chili crabs, teams had to crack enough crabs to collect 2 pounds of meat.
Yes.
Yeah, they did. And that was hilarious.
What the hell
Yeah.
with the guy in the crab costume and then the musicians like literally banging the cymbals and playing in their ears?
In
and-
their ear, I would have just taken my hand and put it over his face and just pushed. Like, if
Yeah.
you clang that thing next to my ear one more time, there is going to be trouble.
So here comes part one of the trust exercise that
Yep.
we were referring to earlier. So while the Candy Girls and the wrestlers were being tortured by those massage therapists,
Those people are not therapists.
hey, you know, I use the term very loosely. They had pretty much gone into that little verbal agreement that they were going to U-turn the surfers and the cyclists.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of this
Okay.
mini alliance of people that had decided.
This alliance thing
Yeah.
that we're talking about here. So, once they finished at the detour, they had to go to Fort Canning Park where the double U-turn was located. So the Candy Girls got there first and they U-turned the surfers, which ended up turning out to be the safest choice from a political standpoint.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, if the surfers found out that they got U-turned, they could always say, hey, you know what? We figured since Fast Forward was surfing that you guys would be finished. And it was just going to be like a safe bet. So they had an out.
Well, did the Candy Girls even think that the surfers would have done the fast forward? Because they were the first group to get the clue, right?
They were in the first group. The surfers were in
Right.
the second group.
Right.
But they figured since they couldn't just take for granted that the cyclists would be the only one to go after it, especially considering
You're right.
that, you know, it's in the surfers' wheelhouse. So
Yeah. Yeah. Who's to say that the surfers might not have done as well as they did? You know, crazier things have happened.
you know, if they went for the fast forward and didn't get it, they'd be coming in last anyway.
True.
So it was a no risk decision on their part
True.
to U-turn the surfers. Now, the wrestlers get their sorry asses to the double U-turn, and then they decide they're not going to U-turn anybody.
And it's all because Robbie figured the cyclists are so far behind.
Yeah, because he figured that the surfers were done, you know, that they would come in last because they figured that the cyclists had such a big lead
Yeah.
that even if the surfers had gone, they would be done anyway.
Right.
So only the surfers got U-turned, but they were pretty much already done
They're
with the
already
leg.
done,
So
yeah.
it was a wasted double U-turn.
It was.
Absolutely.
So once they finished at Fort Canning Park, then they had to go find their next clue box at one of the merlion statues, which apparently is the unofficial symbol of Singapore. There were 5 locations that they had to choose from where the clue box could have been.
Right.
The Candy Girls and the Wrestlers went to the first place together, and then they went to Mount Faber Park, which was the farthest away. Physically. The Wrestlers found it. They got back to their cab before the Candy Girls arrived. The Candy Girls asked them, "Did you find the clue?" Wrestlers said no, like the bitches they are.
I think it was Brooke who quickly answered, no.
Exactly.
Not there.
No, we didn't find it. So you need to go look. No, to Maya, you're way too trusting, girl.
Exactly.
Not at this late date. Okay.
I wouldn't trust anything that came out of Brooke and Robbie's mouth anyway.
Yeah.
But they are below my bottom pick at this point. If there's a less than lower...
There's a million online. I wouldn't even ask them. I'd just say, see you at the next one, maybe,
exactly.
and just gone and look.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. So the Wrestlers got their clue first of the remaining 4, then the Tooth Fairies, then the Candy Girls.
Right.
Candy Girls just made it before the Cyclists.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it was tight.
I will say that I think, so when the cyclists end up having to go do the tightrope, they did the China Cups, got all that set out. When they were choosing the merlion location, I think it was Kim who said, let's go to the farthest one, because everyone's going to go to the nearest one.
It was Allie.
Yeah, that was an excellent idea.
So the pit stop for this leg of the race was at the Fullerton Pavilion. And having won the fast forward, the surfers came in first. Travelocity is sending them to Bali.
Yeah.
Wow. That looks amazing, doesn't it?
I was really excited for them just to win because they went from being first last week to last and then back to first. It was awesome.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool. The Wrestlers, fuckers, came in second. I'm telling you, they're the new Brendan and Rachel for this race, okay?
They can't even lick Brendan and Rachel's shoes. They're so slimy.
Oh.
I'm serious. They are below the lowest of the lows in my book. Anyone who delights in someone else's pain or misery or demise, I mean, come on.
That's the Brenchels, though.
Thank you, okay?
Not as bad as Brooke, though. They didn't sit there and say, oh, I hope she falls off the 67 flight, whatever.
Well, that would have been more Rachel, not her.
That would have been more Rachel, but believe me, Brendan held his own.
Absolutely.
I would expect the Wrestlers to try to steal a cab, but they'd have to find a cab first in order to steal it.
This is
so
true.
I think in that regard, we're pretty safe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they finished second. The Tooth Fairies came in third. We have to say goodbye to the cyclists. And this is rough.
No.
This is a very rough one because
I was really hoping they would get there before the Candy Girls, just in that stroke of luck. But
yeah,
I thought it was gonna happen.
Because you figured traffic.
Yeah,
they got a crappy cab driver who didn't know the shortcut to wherever they need to go next, and so then the Candy Girls would just kind of make their way in. But nope.
If it were me, I would have just given the fast forward to the surfers.
True.
Yeah, it's all right to take a chance on possibly being able to finish it first, but 2 minutes, nah.
No.
I'm not going to waste the time because if they had done the tasks...
Oh, they would have made quick work out of it and been out of there, yeah.
They would have absolutely come in second. Okay?
Absolutely.
And probably avoided having to be U-turned.
True.
So...
It was just too sad. I was more sad about this than I was Tim and TJ. I mean, I literally was yelling at the TV, like, no! Tarzan style. I just hated to see them go. They're such good competitors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are. And like I said, Allie is a baller.
Yeah. Well, so is Kim, though.
Both of them.
Kim holds her own, but in absolute physical challenges, I see Allie being way, way stronger than Kim. Kim has got the determination.
And the biceps.
But Allie's got the execution.
Yeah. No, but they were a strong team, and I was surprised to see them go home.
Next week, they go to the Philippines.
Yep.
And we get the return of the oxen task from season 5.
Oh, yeah, I never saw that. So what was that like?
This was a classic.
Yeah, anytime you have to deal with animals.
The infamous line, "My ox is broken."
Okay.
Was an oldie but a goodie from season 5. That's our time for today. You can follow us on Twitter at @DidTheLetterU.Watch-It. You can also find us at iTunes. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening.